Hi everyone, so in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you my honest review of the BT Digital Audio Baby Monitor. That's this one. This is the one that I've recently purchased. I'm going to be telling you whether or not I like it and whether or not it's worth going out and purchasing for yourself as well. Let's get straight into it. So this is often the baby monitor that comes up when you search in for an audio only baby monitor, because this is audio only and it's one of the best value for money monitors out there. It retails currently at $29.99, which I think is one of, if not the cheapest baby monitor that you can buy. I definitely looked at this seriously because it was pretty cheap. But then if you scroll down on Amazon, you see that some of the reviews are not so good and some of the reviews are good. So I was like, well, I don't know whether or not this is good, so I almost didn't buy it because of a lot of negative reviews on Amazon. But I thought I'm going to buy it to try it out, see what I personally think, and then I can share my reviews with you guys and you can see whether or not it's worth buying for yourself. So definitely value for money. If this is good, the value for money is excellent because it is really cheap and it is really, really affordable. So let's start off with the sound quality. So in order to hear the sound, all you do is you click on the on button in the middle there, and then at either side is the up and down volume buttons. It is very, very straightforward. So I'll just show you that up close. This is the on button here, and then the up and down volume buttons, and the sound comes out here. And if the baby is making a noise or if there's a noise in the room, this goes green and lights up. I will say that this goes green and it's either an on or off indication, so it's not like some baby monitors and baby monitors that I've had previously have a level of noise. So they have like a few different lights up and down here and you can see how loud the baby is even when it's on mute. But for you to actually understand how loud your baby is, you need to have it on quite loudly so that you can actually hear the baby rather than being able to understand the level of noise just from this light. So this is an on or off light only. And so yes, when you can hear the baby crying perfectly well, very, very loudly, very nicely. I've had no problems at all with hearing my child like whimpering or crying. And my baby monitor is not super close to my baby. So the other end, this end of the baby monitor, the mother unit, which goes into the room with the baby, is not that close. His crib is at the end of my bed, and then this monitor is at the top of my bed. So it's not that close, but I still do hear the whimpers and everything like that through this monitor. I will say though, when you turn it right up loud as it goes, which I usually do have at that setting, because that's the best setting to have it at, you can hear it. If you put your ear kind of close to it, you can hear static. So you will be able to hear static. So if you're in a different room trying to sleep and you have this really near to you, you will be able to hear the static from it. If the volume is down lower, you won't be able to, or if your unit is farther away from you, if it's just sitting over there, then you probably won't be able to hear the static either. So I didn't find the static to be a problem, but if you do put it pretty close to your ear, you definitely can hear static on the loudest setting. The audio is also one way, so there is no option on this to click a button and talk to your baby through the monitor. If that's a problem for you, then maybe this is not the unit for you, because you definitely cannot talk to the baby through this monitor. It's a very, very simple, very, very basic baby monitor. And yeah, so for me personally that wasn't a problem, but if you do like that feature, then that might be something to watch out for and to be aware of, that you cannot talk to your baby through this monitor. I feel like another really important aspect of a baby monitor is how far away you can still hear the baby through it. So how far your signal range is. And in terms of the range from this unit to this unit, the range I think is really, really good. I haven't tested the maximum distance, but my house is 2 stories. I'll just give you a bit of background. My house is 2 stories. My baby's room is up at the top. He's currently in our room. And then if I go all the way downstairs, I can hear the baby all the way down on my downstairs house. It's just a standard semi-detached house. And then if you go into the back garden, you can get pretty far to the back to the back of the garden and hear your baby still. So my garden is an okay size and I can go pretty far into the back of it and I can still hear my baby. So I think for most houses and for most uses, the signal range for this unit will be good enough for you. If you have a mansion, maybe not, or if you have an extra large garden and you want to go right to the end of your extra large garden, then you might not be able to hear the baby. But for most standard houses, for flats, for all those kind of standard house uses, I personally think that it will be completely fine, and the range does last. It does go quite far, and certainly I've had no issues with it using it in my house. In terms of the battery life, the unit that you take around with yourself has rechargeable batteries within it, and you just plug it into the wall with them in it and it recharges them, and then the battery life itself lasts at least a full night. So I haven't tested exactly the full length of the charge, but I can have it without being plugged in all night and a little bit longer, and it still lasts. So I would say the battery life is pretty good on it. I have absolutely no complaints with the battery life. And the mother unit does need to be plugged in. That cannot be plugged out. That does not have batteries or anything else like that. That must be plugged into the wall at all times. So of course that one never dies. Now usually at the end of my reviews, I give a tutorial on how to set up the product that I'm reviewing, but for this one there was not even any point in me doing that, because all you do is plug your cord into both of your units and plug them into the wall, turn it on at the button, and that's literally all you do. It connects automatically, done. It's the easiest thing ever. I can do it, and I'm really not great at setting things up like this. Just plug it in, turn it on, done. So simple. There's literally almost no way you can get it wrong. They do have very long cords as well, so the mother unit has a pretty long cord, which I think you do need for the mother unit, but then the other unit also has a fairly long cord for charging it as well. So I think the length of the cords is pretty good and definitely long enough for most uses. Okay, so the reliability of the unit. So far I've had this unit for a few months now. It's completely reliable. I love it a lot. The handheld unit feels nice and sturdy and bulky. I have had angel care units in the past. I have had certain other units and they've just not felt bulky and durable, and this one definitely feels nice and bulky and durable, which I really like the feeling of things that are nice and heavy to make it feel better quality, whereas the angel care one that I had in the past did not feel as good quality, and I had another video monitor which also did not feel as good quality as this. So this feels very durable, and it's definitely been thrown across the room a few times by my toddler and it's survived. So that's the test for you, whether it's durable. And then the mother unit also feels good. This feels much lighter and not quite as durable, but it's just going to sit in your room. So as long as you don't really touch it or do anything with it, I think this would last a long time as well. There is no Wi-Fi to connect to your unit. So some baby monitors have Wi-Fi, so you can connect it to your phone, and like if it's a video monitor you can see your child, etc, etc. This has no Wi-Fi, which can be a negative if you wanted Wi-Fi, but because it's an audio only unit, there'd be no use for that on this unit, and then also it means it's more secure. I specifically looked for a no Wi-Fi baby monitor because I didn't want it to be able to be hacked into it. You hear stories of baby monitors getting hacked into and creepy things, creepy people hacking into it. So you have no problems with that with this. It's impossible. You cannot hack into it because it does not have any Wi-Fi. And so for security purposes, in terms of security, that is very highly secure. This is a very simple baby monitor. Like I said, it is audio only. There's no extras, there's no lights, there's not a sensor, there's no sound, there's no music, there's none of the fancy extras that you get on a lot of baby monitors these days. And that can be good or it can be bad depending on what you are personally looking for. If you want to be able to see your baby, or to have an alarm go off when there's a sensor underneath it, or if you want to have a light show or music, then this is not the baby monitor for you, because this is just very simple, straightforward, audio only baby monitor, nothing else. Does literally nothing else apart from allows you to hear your baby crying. So I would highly recommend it if you're looking for something very simple, straight to the point. All it does is let you hear your baby cry, which is what I personally look for. So why I think it is a great baby monitor and highly recommend it. But if you're looking for something a little bit more fancy, definitely not for you, because it's definitely not that fancy. But circling back to my earlier point, in terms of value for money, I would rate it as highly valuable for money, because it's just so simple, does what I wanted it to do, really cheap, highly recommend it. I personally love it. Overall, if you're looking at this thinking, should I get it, should I not? I would definitely say buy it, because it's worked so well for us and we love it so much, and I love it much more than the previous baby monitors that I've had in the past, which have been much more expensive. So highly recommend this baby monitor unit, guys, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful and useful. If you have any other questions about it that I did not cover here, leave a comment down below and I will answer them all for you. And I'll see you very soon in my next one. Bye guys.